It was this Diesel, and yes, I'm finally doing Rebooking The Rock if he never left for Hollywood Part 2. I really enjoyed Part 1, having The Rock feud with Eddie Guerrero, John Cena, and stuff, put him on SmackDown. I really had fun with that one. Then, finally having the dream match of The Rock versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 20. So now, Part 2. So don't know, WrestleMania 20 that happens, Rock versus Shawn Michaels in the Epic Class, and that never happened. So now on to March 22nd, WWE Lottery Draft, and the number one lottery draft to Monday Night Raw, The Rock. Simple. Next week, Evolution is ready to attack McFoley, and The Rock comes back and saves him from Evolution, Orton, Batista, and Flair, just like in real life, except after WrestleMania instead. And the Rock and Sock Connection reunite. April week 1, Rock and Sock Connection versus Evolution. Exactly the same results as WrestleMania 20, except it happens in April, the first week. Week 2, McFoley challenges Randy Orton for Backlash and brings out Cactus Jack like real life. Ric Flair comes out with Batista laughing at The Rock for beating Evolution. The Rock challenges Ric Flair, but Batista steps in and says, "No, Rick, I'll face The Rock." Rock accepts. Randy Orton versus Cactus Jack, exact same match. The Rock versus Batista. Batista wins via help from Ric Flair. Raw, post Backlash, The Rock and Ric Flair were cutting promos back and forth. The Rock talks about Batista needing help from old Yeller to beat him. Ric Flair gets angry, then says he could have done it by himself if he wanted to. The Rock challenges Flair. Flair accepts. Bischoff comes on and says it'll happen next week. Last week of April, Rock versus Ric Flair. Rock wins 3 3/4. Then the Ric Flair attacks The Rock and busts him open from behind, like low blows, whatever, dirty old Ric Flair. Week 1, The Rock versus Ric Flair of May. Week 1 of May, The Rock versus Ric Flair in a no DQ match. The Rock wins, and then Batista comes out and attacks Rock. 4-star match. Week 2, The Rock versus Batista. The Rock wins. 3 stars. Post match, Jonathan Coachman attacks The Rock. Week 3, Rock calls out Coach, and Coach explains for years Rock making fun of him and disrespecting him, so Rock makes fun of him some more and gets him angry. Then The Rock beats the crap out of Coach. Week 4, Bischoff orders Rock in a handicap match. Ric Flair and Batista versus The Rock. Rock's about to win, and Coach comes out and attacks The Rock, and Coach and Evolution attacks The Rock and lays him out. Week 5, Rock versus Coach. Evolution attacks The Rock. Eugene helps The Rock and beats up Evolution. June week 1, The Rock and Eugene versus Ric Flair, Batista, and the Coach. Rock and Eugene win. Eugene pins Coach, 2.5 stars. Week 2, Rock versus Coach. Rock destroys the Coach. Week 3, Chris Benoit challenges The Rock. Rock accepts. Week 4, Rock and Benoit versus Flair and Batista. Rock and Benoit win. 2 3/4 stars. Bad Blood. The Rock versus Chris Benoit. As The Rock goes for the pin, Triple H comes out and skews The Rock, and Benoit retains. 4.5-star match. Post Blood Raw. Triple H said he did it because he wants Chris Benoit. Rock runs down and attacks Triple H. Triple H runs away. Next week, Rock calls out Triple H, and Coach comes out instead and laughs at Rock for getting screwed. And Rock just whips his ass. Next week, Rock calls out Triple H again. No response. July week 1, The Rock finds Triple H backstage and attacks him. Security holds him back. Bischoff sets The Rock versus Triple H number 1 contendership match for the shot at the world title at Vengeance. Rock versus Triple H. Triple H win via help from Evolution. 4-star match. Vengeance, The Rock versus Ric Flair in a steel cage match. The Rock wins. Chris Benoit versus Triple H. The exact same match, but the only difference is Rock screws Triple H instead of Eugene. And then Rock and Triple H have the feud instead of Triple H and Eugene. SummerSlam 2004. The Rock versus Triple H. The Rock wins. Randy Orton versus Chris Benoit. Exact same match because, call it what it is, they're gonna do it regardless because they wanted to erase Brock Lesnar's record. So yeah, Randy Orton beats Benoit just like real life. And then it'd be just like real life, acts like it doesn't happen. Anywho, Raw post SummerSlam. Triple H calls out The Rock for a rematch. Rock accepts. Rock versus Triple H. Randy Orton interferes. Evolution beats down The Rock. Rock wins via DQ, 3 stars. Next week, Rock calls out Randy Orton. Orton comes out to the ring and tells Rock how he's the new youngest world champion in WWE. He's the new best third generation wrestler. Says, I've replaced you. Rock responds and says, you could never be The Rock. You ain't never sold arenas like The Rock. You ain't never faced the likes of Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania like The Rock. Walk like The Rock, talk like The Rock. Orton says, I'll do you like I did your boy Mick Foley. Rock says, you pinned Mick Foley, but you couldn't pin The Rock. Rock says, I'll do you like I did your leader Triple H. Remember last week when I was beating Triple H and he needed your help? Orton says, oh yeah? I'll pin you at Unforgiven. Rock accepts his challenge. Next week, Rock is ready to face Batista and cuts a backstage promo roasting Randy Orton. Rock versus Batista as the match goes on. Orton walks down to the Titantron. Rock stares at him. Orton just stands there. Then Batista gives Rock a spine buster, then goes for the pin. Rock kicks out. Goes to the sit-out powerbomb. Then The Rock gets out and Rock bottoms Batista. Rock for the win. 1, 2, 3. 3.5 stars. Rock and Orton stare at each other. What's called from the rings of the Titantron. September, week 1. Unforgiven go home show. Orton and Rock cut promos back and forth. And Rock roasts Randy Orton's family, saying Bob Orton Sr. Who was he? Peter Maivia was a Samoan legend. His father, Rocky Maivia, was one half of the first African American tag team champions, while Bob Orton was Randy Orton's bitch wearing a fake cast. Rock versus Orton is set as third generation superstar versus third generation superstar. Unforgiven, Rock versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight title. The Rock wins via People's Elbow and is the new World Heavyweight champion because, Randy Orton loses anyways. Except he's a heel and he looks like less of a bitch for Triple H. But yeah, Rock wins via People's Elbow and is the new World Heavyweight champion. Raw post Unforgiven. Orton comes out angry and wants a rematch for his rematch clause. Rock laughs and says he's the better third generation wrestler and will prove it again next week and laughs. Week 3, Rock versus Orton. As Orton's about to go for the rock bottom, out comes Triple H, who's been gone since SummerSlam, and takes out The Rock with his signature sledgehammer. Week 4, Triple H comes back and says he wants the world title and is so angry The Rock screwed him up the title months ago with his match with Chris Benoit. October, week 1, Rock goes looking for Triple H and doesn't find him. Week 2, Rock goes out roasting Triple H, talking about he's scared to get his ass whipped by The Rock again. Week 3, Rock calls out Randy Orton for Taboo Tuesday. Orton accepts. Taboo Tuesday, The Rock versus Randy Orton, and the fans voted for a steel cage match. Rock wins and Evolution gets in the cage and brutally assaults The Rock. Bad 4-star match. Week 4, the whole WWE roster versus Evolution, just like real life, except Randy Orton's getting his ass hit with Evolution because he's still with Evolution and never gets kicked out of Evolution. November, week 1, Rock laughs at Evolution for getting beat up by the whole roster. Evolution appears on the Titantron. Rock's laughing, saying the roster whooped your asses so bad that they couldn't even show up to Raw. Triple H makes a challenge to The Rock, saying Rock and his 3 best versus Evolution. Week 2, The Rock gets Mick Foley, Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho. Survivor Series, Team Rock versus Evolution. Foley eliminates Flair. Orton eliminates Jericho. Benoit eliminates Batista. Triple H eliminates Benoit. Now it's 2 versus 2. Rock and Sock Connection versus Triple H and Randy Orton. Orton eliminates Foley. Rock eliminates Triple H. Triple H just stacks the Rocks. Then RKO's, then Randy Orton RKO's the Rock. Randy Orton is the sole survivor. Just like in real life, but on Team Evolution. Raw post Survivor Series, Orton brags about being the sole survivor. Rock challenges Randy Orton for a rematch in a no DQ match, and Orton accepts. Rock versus Randy Orton. Evolution interferes, and Jericho and Benoit come out to help Evolution. Rock wins via rock bottom. 4-star match. Week after, Rock thanks his whole team and says he will give all of them world title shots. Then says Benoit gets the first title shot, going back to Bad Blood with Triple H interfering. Last week, November, The Rock versus Chris Benoit. Rock wins via rock bottom, 4-star match. Week 1 in December, The Rock versus Chris Jericho. Rock wins via People's Elbow, 4.25-star match. Week 2, Rock versus Mick Foley. Rock wins via People's Elbow, 4-star match. December, week 3, Evolution versus Rock and Sock Connection with Eugene and Maven. Evolution wins. Randy Orton pins Maven. December, week 4, Evolution comes out and Triple H says he wants a world title shot. Orton says he wants a world title shot. Batista says both you guys lost your world title shots against The Rock. Flair tries to calm the situation down because Evolution is now arguing with his challenges. Rock comes out and accepts Batista's challenge. Week 5, The Rock versus Batista. Rock looks fairly good, and Batista looks fairly good and strong in this match. Then Triple H interferes and beats up The Rock. Batista gets furious with Triple H and then shoves Triple H, and they start arguing. This is where tensions between the two start, rising. Then Eric Bischoff comes on and says New Year's Evolution is going to be The Rock versus Triple H versus Randy Orton versus Batista versus Chris Benoit versus Edge. Shawn Michaels, a special guest referee. New Year's Resolution 2005. All 6 men are in the match. Batista eliminates Benoit and Edge. Rock eliminates Randy Orton. Batista accidentally clotheslines Triple H. Rock bottoms Batista, and Triple H just stands there as Rock pins Batista. Doesn't help, Batista stay in the match, just like real life, kind of. Flair slips Triple H a sledgehammer and hits an already bloody Rock with it. Triple H pedigrees the Rock and wins 4.5-star match. Rock uses his rematch clause to face Triple H at Royal Rumble. The rematch is set. Randy Orton simply is in the Royal Rumble. Batista accidentally hits Triple H again, trying to help him. Batista and Triple H argue. Rock pushes Triple H into Batista, and as Rock goes to the People's Elbow, the lights go out. A stinger appears on the Titantron. Rock gets distracted and then gets hit with a pedigree, and Triple H retains 4.25 match. Week 1, backstage interview comes to The Rock. The Rock simply doesn't answer. Rock comes out again. The stinger appears on the Titantron. Week 3, a bird comes down to the ring as Rock looks down, freaked out. Week 4, he's walking backstage and sees a black bat. March week 1, The Rock says, whichever jabroni is playing these damn mind games, come out and be a man and face to face with The Rock. I don't care if it's The Undertaker. I don't care if it's Kane. Show your damn face to The Rock. Lights goes out. Points to the rafters. It's Sting, and the crowd pops. Week 2, the Sting talks about how he always wanted to face The Rock for years, and the Stinger's finally shown up. Rock comes and says, if you wanted a match, all you have to do is ask. Sting says WrestleMania 21. The Stinger wants The Rock. Rock shakes his hand. Sting accepts. WrestleMania 21, The Rock versus Sting. Keep the rest of the card exactly the same. Sting wins 4-star match. And if you would like to see how where Sting goes from here, go to my rebooking Sting if he came to WWE into the mid 2000s, and you'll see it all from there. Then Rock goes to Hollywood for a bit after this. So yeah, give me your feedback, like, subscribe, tell me what you like, didn't like, agreed with, disagreed with. Give me your feedback, guys, and I will be back for more rebookings. I'm not going to say which I'm going to come with next because I got quite a bit, but I will come back with rebookings. This is not the last of my rebookings. So I'm going to pick my next one out of surprise.